Yo, what's going on YouTube, and welcome back to another Destiny Taken King video. The official launch trailer for the Taken King has just dropped and oh my god, it's so awesome. If you guys haven't seen it, then you'll find it linked in the description box down below. Definitely go and check it out because it is super awesome. But in this video, I'm going to break it down for you guys and run through all the small details that you might have missed the first time you watched it. So let's get started. Now I'm going to skip past all the intro cinematics because those cutscenes, while they are really awesome, there's not really much to say at the moment. They are basically just cutscenes you're going to see during the campaign, during some of the story missions, and I've seen a couple of them while I was at Bungie playing Taken King, and if the two that I've seen are anything to go by, then we are in for a treat. But moving on, this is the first place I want to stop. So we see the usual kind of three Guardians grouped together, Hunter on the left, Warlock in the middle, and Titan on the right. Now they're obviously wearing gear right now that we haven't seen before, however none of it here really looks that special, so I'm not too sure whether any of these are actually exotics or not. Do bear in mind that in the Taken King, when you take part in things like strikes, they will actually also have their own unique armor set. So for example, when you complete, say, the Shield Brother strike, they will drop armor pieces that will be unique to that strike, which means if you do eventually assemble kind of like a complete gear set, then people will be able to look at you and say, alright, I know he got his armor from that strike. So this armor here doesn't really look like the Vanguard gear that you can buy, so I'd hazard a guess that it could well be from one of the strikes, but again, who knows. The only thing that could well be exotic is the Hunter helmet, because it looks a little bit special, but I'm not too sure. Other thing I do want to call out here is the gun the Hunter is holding on the left. Now this looks remarkably like the Last Word, only the top of the gun is actually silver and not gold. Now could this well be what the Year 2 Last Word looks like, or maybe it's just a coincidence and it's just a completely different gun. Then moving on from there, let's stop here. So again, the three classes, Warlock on the left, Hunter in the middle, and Titan on the right. And the thing I want to call out here in particular is the Hunter. Look at his cloak. As you know, up until now, Hunter cloaks have always had a hood. Okay, when you're in the tower and you don't have a helmet on, then the hood is down. But ordinarily, when you are out in the world, then the hood is up. Now you'll see here, the Hunter here clearly has a helmet without a hood, and this could be one of two things. The more likely thing is that this is just a special cloak, which in this case doesn't actually have a hood or the hood is down. What would be really cool, however, is if Bungie actually added an option to actually put the hood down on all Hunter cloaks. That would be absolutely insane, but whether that actually happens does obviously remain to be seen. Also, if you look really closely on the Titan's leg, you'll see this glowing sort of like orange thing there. I believe that is the exotic class item that you get with the actual collector's edition, the kind of like glowing flaming hammer. We obviously can't see it too clearly here. And also if you turn your attention to the Warlock's legs, those look like some rather fancy boots. They look a bit too fancy to be regular armor, so I'm going to hazard a guess that they are exotics. They've got a sort of like purple tint to them, but they could also be Stormcaller. But either way, I have no clue what they're actually for, but they still look pretty exotic. Now if we pause right here again, this is another look at some really awesome stuff. On the right side again, we get to see the sort of like knee pads from those Warlock boots I was talking about earlier, and also you can see he's got like a fancy kind of armband on as well. But on the left hand side, this is really cool. This is also another Hunter cloak, which the first time I saw this, the first time I talked about it on Twitter, I actually made reference to, say, like the Titan's mark that you get from the Vault of Glass, the kind of cool blue glowing one. But if you're on PlayStation, one of the exclusive strikes is actually a Scion Flayer that's actually got a cloak that looks like this, so it could well be, given that in the Taken King, those strikes are not only coming to Xbox, but they're also being reworked with a new Taken element, so it could well be that upon completing that strike, this is a unique class item you get from there to kind of indicate that's where you've been. And if we move the picture around a little bit more, it looks like the Hunter is wielding a Thunderlord, so this could well be the Year 2 Thunderlord. Then if we pause it on this next frame, when the Warlock is fighting one of the Shield Brothers in one of the new strikes, again we get a look at that really cool helmet. We actually saw this in a quick picture a little while back, but this is actually a much clearer shot and it looks really cool. It kind of looks like one of those sort of supervillain helmets from, say, like one of those like old cartoons where there's like a floating brain inside, because that's basically what it looks like. It's like a little kind of glass fishbowl with a floating storm cloud or something inside. Who knows what it is, but either way, that is definitely an exotic helmet. And then this picture. Now this is a Titan wearing what I could only assume is an exotic because it looks again a little bit too outlandish. It could well be a raid helmet from something like King's Fall, but it could also be an exotic for the Titan. But regardless, it looks pretty much like you just ripped the head off a knight and whacked it on as a helmet. Also, take a look at the actual sniper he's wielding. This is also a brand new weapon that we have yet to see. And again, given the design, it doesn't look like it belongs to any of the weapon foundries, so I'm therefore going to assume this is another new exotic. Next up, if we pause it here for a second, this is obviously the cutscene that plays out when you complete your Night Stalker subclass quest and you actually get the new subclass. But the reason I paused this is because I want to take a look at the chest. Now, if you are familiar with the ATSA Arachnid, the Hunter exotic helmet that allows you to zoom in with the golden gun, admittedly it's a little bit useless, but the design is extremely similar to that chest. It's basically a black helmet with lots of orange dots all over the eyes, and that chest looks exactly the same, only on the chest. So I'm going to hazard a guess that this is in the ATS family, and this is most likely a chest for the gunslinger. If I then pause here for a second again, we take a look at the Titan in the Sunbreaker sequence, and the main thing I want to draw attention to is the actual armour he's wearing. While we haven't actually seen any pictures just yet, I do get the kind of feeling that this could well be raid armour. The helmet has a sort of like Vanguard meets Hive kind of feel to it, and obviously the armour looks quite bulky, so again, this is either one of those strike specific armour sets, or it's from something like a raid. Then if we pause on this screen again, we get a look at firstly the Chaperone, which is the exotic shotgun, which has a single shot and spins around and is made by the same guys that made The Last Word, Tex Mechanica. Plus you also get another look at that Hunter cloak without the hood up, and this really cool, strange looking helmet. I'm not entirely sure where it's from. It doesn't necessarily look especially exotic, but it does still look pretty cool. And that is pretty much it. Now yes, there could well have been a few other things that I might have missed in the trailer, so if there were, then let me know in the comments down below, or alternatively just let me know what you guys thought of the trailer down below. If you guys did enjoy it, or you're hyped for the Taken King, then hit that like button to spread the word, and aside from that, thank you very much for watching, take it easy, catch you next time, peace out.